Uh, Video conferencing, we already spoke about, and the way the enterprises are using that now, but the houses are not. Ultimately, your phone calls are all going to be video phone calls. This can be done over fiber optics with no problem. This slide shows a little bit of a currently realistic view of speeds. Actually, Xfinity by Comcast has just improved because of a system called DOCSIS 3 that they use. DOCSIS 3 virtually doubles the speed that can be provided. But in all reality, even Xfinity now, you're going to experience 2, 3, 4 megabit unless you buy the more expensive packages. 2, 3, 4, 5 megabits per second. Xfinity provides 15, 16 megabits per second. So it's twice as fast. 7 times as fast. And here we come into the shared in-house fiber. Now, what I mean by that is, the way the situation is right now in the city of Philadelphia and its surroundings, yes, Verizon is bringing, they're bringing Fios, which is fiber optic, to the house. But once they enter the house, they use the coaxial cable that's already run in the house. It's very difficult to old work new cable into a house. And by old work, I mean the walls are up. You have to get up in the attic, down in the basement. Sometimes it's virtually impossible to do it and very expensive to do it. And so they don't run fiber optics in the house itself. They utilize the existing coax. Now, what happened is Comcast came in 3 months ago with their service, and they installed this coaxial cable in the house to some expense. They have technicians that come in the house. I did it myself for many years. I'm a licensed electrician. I know what it takes to do this, and you have a 2-man crew there all day putting this system in. Okay, the Comcast cable coax was put in 3 months ago. The customer decides they don't like it anymore. They don't like Comcast. So they call Verizon in. Now Verizon comes in, they put in fiber optics to the house, but they utilize the coaxial cable. So here again, bandwidth is shut down. The fiber optic capacity for bandwidth is shut down because once you get into the house, you're using coaxial cable anyway that the Comcast technicians put in 3 months ago. So the inefficiency, first off, of having to switch out because the customer wants what he wants. Customer is always right. Get rid of Comcast. You know, this is the opportunity that we have when you have Verizon and Comcast. Now, speaking of opportunity, the city of Philadelphia has only recently allowed Verizon into it. 2009, late 2009, they approved Verizon to come into the city. Before that, it was only Comcast. Okay, so we're getting the competition here, but we're facing the same situation with the coaxial cable in the house that's being shared by both. Ultimately, that's going to be fiber optics because of what I explained before. You're going to have fiber optics in the house regardless, ultimately. So why not bring fiber optic to the house and share it? And what I mean by in-house sharing is going to take place. It's taking place now. That was Comcast cable that was put in. Verizon's using it. Let's put in fiber optics. Let's forget the coax. Ultimately, it's going to be South Korea and Japan that rule the global economy unless we can compete with this. Okay. There's other benefits. Digital box manufacturers can concentrate on fiber optic technology, which is more expensive, but once everybody's using it, it's just like any of the other electronics, it's going to come down. So we're also going to be able to better interface, integrate home theater systems with computer system, which is happening now. This is called convergence. And we'll have better whole house systems, faster streaming, HD TV, 3D TV, all which require a large bandwidth that only fiber can offer. there's some downsides to fiber. Like we said, it's expensive. But according to Landshack.com, it can be made cost effective if done properly. And like I said, once this is rolling out to everyone, the prices are going to come down. The prices are expensive in both the cable and the hardware that's required, and the installation, which is requires special terminations, certified technicians that know how to do these fiber optic terminations. The way Verizon has got around that is, they've installed their systems with prefabricated cables. It's done in the factory. The terminations are done in the factory, not in the field. So again, this is one of the cost-effective ways to design the projects with prefabricated cables. When Verizon comes out, they bring a long fiber optic cable to go from the telephone pole to the house. This has been measured by a surveyor that came out to the house prior to the installation, and everything is ready to go, and it only takes a little while, and the terminations are already on there. The expensive terminations are done in the factory where they're less expensive. They can be done on a industrial assembly line type of deal. The secondary benefit that I talked about earlier in the unemployment situation, unemployment is over 10% when you include, it's probably more like 15, 16, maybe up to 20% when you include people that are no longer on unemployment compensation. These people, you add the people still claiming unemployment, that's down around 9.5 now, I believe, in Pennsylvania. It's up well up over 10% when you consider those people. How do we put those people? What do? We let those people stand in line collecting unemployment. They want to work. They do want to work. Do we let them stand in the unemployment line? Back in the old days, 1930s, during the Depression, people stood in the soup line. Okay, this was the same thing as collecting unemployment today. You stood in a soup line and then you played cards all day long. Well, FDR saw the value. Franklin Delano Roosevelt created the New Deal that put these people to work, perfectly capable people that were out of work, to work, creating and improving the national park system, putting up buildings. First of all, you're putting the people to work instead of sitting around playing cards all day. They're learning skills, even if it's digging trenches or cutting down trees to make paths along the national park system. These people are not sitting around doing nothing. They're being productive for this country. Okay, City of Philadelphia, it's the same thing. Why are we letting perfectly good workers that want to work lay around? Let's put them to work, teach them skills, very valuable skills, old working wiring in buildings, how to set up high-tech IT systems. Let's put Philadelphia as the bellwether city for this nation. We can, before I leave this slide, I want to we can create thousands of jobs, 2,000 jobs minimum, doing this, and I'll explain that in a second in the action plan. Obama and Biden have instituted a new plan. They put Joe Biden in charge of this. The American Recovery and Reinvestment Act of 2009 has a huge amount of money set aside for broadband infrastructure throughout the country. Money is being made available. You can apply. Contractors can apply for this, private contractors, large contractors, Verizon, Comcast included, and electrical contractors, of which I am a licensed electrical contractor, have this money available to them. Let's put it to use. It's federal money. This is not money out of the city of Philadelphia or any of its surrounding communities.